Look at the famous example, Jerry Falwell Sr. after 9/11. You've seen that clip. Everyone's heard that famous clip. Why did this happen, Jerry Falwell? Him and Pat Robertson appeared on the 700 Club, I think it was a day or two after 9/11. And Falwell famously said, I blame the gays, the
Mm-hmm.
abortionists, the people for the American way. And I point the finger in your face and I say, you made this happen. You murdered millions of babies. Instant covenant theology language there, because it's like you go back to the Old Testament, it was a complete conditional covenant, wasn't it, that God had with Israel in the narrative of the Hebrew Bible. If you sin, you will get punished. If you obey me and follow my commands, you will be blessed. So therefore, America must be a covenant nation, because every time a hurricane hits or a wildfire hits or something terrible happens, that is God punishing America, trying to bring the nation back into repentance. So that's still being heard even today, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Again, historically, it just doesn't fit. I talk about this in the book, and I refer readers to, and even to a much more complete treatment of the book or of the sermon City on the Hill. But I'll just say this, basically this tidbit, is that the founders very likely didn't know about John Winthrop's sermon. It's very likely that they never read it, didn't know it existed, because after it was either preached or read in 1630s, it disappeared until about 1828 or 1828. And they of course did the Constitution in 1787. And so as far as them trying to somehow frame the
Frame
idea,
America as a
reframe the idea of covenant into the Constitution, they didn't know anything about the City on a Hill,
never heard of it.
because, and that's the fascinating thing about that City on a Hill sermon, is that it really went dark as far as people knowing about it or reading it, or wasn't in schools or anything until
Yeah,
very
wasn't
recent in
well
our
known.
history.